and girls, B2, and welcome to another very exciting episode of Clicker Heroes. So the question was, B2, what's the better DPS? Like, when do you swap from Tree Beast? When do you go to Weapawet or Tsuchi or whatever? And so I'm going to show you, like, it's going to be, we're going to stop all the DPS. Actually, let's keep the DPS going for just 1 second. What I want to do is I want to upgrade all these guys to their highest level, right? And let's get some DPS going here so we can spill some blood and raise some hero levels. You see how they're just going like 1,000, 2,000, but what I'm trying to do is get them all to the same level, as far as the same amount of gold spent all the way up, so that we can do a comparison of DPS when they're maxed out on levels, right? Because there's no sense in doing it if you're not going to max out the levels. And if you don't max out the levels now, you won't have enough gold to max all the heroes out when you get ready to do the comparison, and so you won't have a really good comparison. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So like gold is dropping, and we're just upgrading all these guys as high as they'll go. And see how they're blacked out here, and they shine back up for a second, but pretty much overall we're going to spend all the money we're making. And then we're going to do a DPS comparison to show you guys like what it looks like for the different DPSs. And so like when you swap all the guilds to one hero, what happens when Midas and Betty Clicker get their bonuses from Tsuchi, or is it Weapawet? Either one of them, doesn't matter. So basically what we have here is a scenario where all of the stuff is maxed out. So like if I was to go and hit him again, it's only going to do like 20 or 30 levels. And so pretty much we're maxed out, right? We can all agree on that. So I'm going to stop DPS. There's one guy still out there. Is he one guy still clicking? I can't see him. I can't see him. Did we just bug it out? Oh, we've got these guys going. I was like, where's this DPS coming from, man? Did you see the look of confusion on my face all around this area? So those guys will run out, and I don't want to do the DPS until they're done doing their thing, which will be a couple of minutes, I'm sure. I'm gonna throw some DPS back on there and just see if we can rank up a couple of end levels until they run out. There we go. We'll just get it moving. Until that runs out, let's take a look at the membership. Malbecdonis, Mossy Epic Nightmare. Oh, Funky is chasing down Nightmare. Look at that, 75 levels away. He's almost 2,000 ahead of me now. That's impressive, Funky. You definitely jumped out to a lead on me on that one. And for those of you that don't know, Funky had some surgery and stuff happen and had a lot of time at home. He was able to get a lot of clicker time in, and man, did he make a good time of that. All right, so all the boosts are gone, and just some click boosts for gold. And then you'll see, like, okay, so right now would be our idle DPS, and you can see it's not moving at all because we don't do idle DPS. So here we go. If I was to take right now and look at this and say, how much is Tsuchi doing? He's doing E581. That's respectable. That's a lot of levels. And his next bonus would be at 4,600. It would times 4 his damage. And he would be at like E582, or 4 of E582 or something along those lines. So he would do that. So if I was to swap this to Weapawet, look, that's 581, that's 560. So let's look. If I swapped everything over to Weapawet, he's at 573. So it doesn't make sense to guild Weapawet at that point if I can get a Tsuchi, because it's just good to go. So let's keep up the list. If I went to GOG, what would it look like if I was at GOG? Would it have more DPS than Tsuchi? No, 572. So what about Bomber Max? And I'm going to get to my point here in a minute, because we just need to get back up into this level up here, these three guys, Frostleaf, Dead Knight, the Dread Knight, and Atlas. But I just wanted to show you guys. So if I go Bomber Max, 571. Moloch, where is you at, Moloch? Boom. We gilded all into him. And what's Moloch's? 570. Not worth it. So what about Chiron? Gilded. Now I'm just queuing all the 921 back into here. So I just took them from Moloch to Chiron, and now let's look at Chiron's damage, right? Where'd he be? 570. So it's still not hitting what Tsuchi had, which is 581. So he's by far gilding into him right now. He's the top. There's no reason to use anybody else but your top tier guy. So let's go down here, and it pretty much follows suit all the way. But let's get to the heroes that really matter, because people start to say, okay, like, let's see what your tree beast is, right? And I'll flip this, and it's not going to be that high. 565. So if it's 580 up at Tsuchi, and it's 570, let's upgrade them. 566 basically down here at Tree Beast. So there's a DPS that you get to where you're like, okay, should I gild everything into Frostleaf then? Let's see what Frostleaf would be. Because that's kind of like the first big guy that you're like, oh man, is it worth it to swap? Is it worth it to swap all of my gilded heroes over to Frostleaf now to push some extra levels out, and then when I ascend, push them back to Tree Beast to get up, and then boom, push them back over to Frostleaf at higher levels. So let's see what the damage would be at Frostleaf at high level, right? 565. 9.8565. Okay, let's go back to Tree Beast. 6.5. 566. So it, pound for pound, you know, and there's some plus 10 multipliers that Tree Beast gets at 10,000 and 20,000 that I don't think Frostleaf was at 20,000, or was he? Yeah, he was. So it's an apples to apples comparison. If we queued all into him, it only goes up 15 levels. So we can see that it doesn't make sense really to go Tree Beast to Frostleaf now. So let's check Dread Knight. I know some of you guys are going, but what about this? But what about that? And look, the bottom line is, look, 3.6566. So it still is not better to go Tree Beast the Dread Knight. Tree Beast beats him out. Let's make sure Atlas is pumped up here, and let's go to Guild, and we'll go to Atlas and say, would it make sense to go to Atlas now? Would he be the next one you'd want to go up to? There we go. Like that's equal damage to me. Although when Atlas got to his multiplier here, it would go up. But is it enough to really, like at that point, like how many levels is that going to push you up to push in there? So does that make sense? Like how many, if you push all your guilds up there and it costs you, let's say 40,000 hero souls to get there, at that point in the game when you're going, would it be wise to give up 40,000 hero souls to push that over? Or if you're at a lower level, you probably only have like, let's say 300 hero souls to swap back and forth, right? So it would only be like 20k. And my hands are dirty. I just got home from work and haven't washed my hands from work yet. But wanted to get this video put up for you guys because I had a question yesterday. So really, at your game level, you have to decide, like, is it going to push me up 5%? And is that 5% worth it? Like, will I cover the hero souls that I'm spending to get that? Well, yeah, my phase of the game, look, we've swapped them over probably a dozen times. I'm still at 163 big O. So, you know, 40,000 chipping away at it, it's not that big of a deal. Let's see if we can get something cool out of old Bumblebee here. Is it? Is it? All right, Dark Ritual. So there we go. We got a 5% boost. That's why you click the Bumblebees, hoping that you get a Dark Ritual. All right, so basically what I'm saying is like for me, for instance, I'm going to leave and go to work in the morning. So if I ascend and I put everything into Tree Beast, at my level, Tree Beast is going to go up to like level 7,000 or so. So when I get home from work, it's worth it for me to pop down here and go, okay, let me move everything from up here to Tsuchi, right? And then let me get Tsuchi going. So if usually the progression mode's off because Tree Beast is maxed out, you push everything to Tsuchi and you click that. And that's where I'm at. I can go Tree Beast right to Tsuchi. So there's no need for me to sit here at my computer and go, oh, let me swap them all to Atlas. Let me swap them all to Brittany. Let me go to the whatever guy you want to pick up here. Let me go to Thalo and put him into Thalo. Like, it's just not worth it. So what I'm saying is know your DPS, know your levels where you're going to go there, and then swap everything over. And so you can see now, this is why I like Juggernaut, and I like an auto idle active clicker. Idle active clicker, sorry. But you can see how this is multiplying. Look how fast that damage is multiplying. And that's not even including, like, if I took this off of here and started spending the gold into Tsuchi, and he was hitting like level 4600. But you can see how the Juggernaut is just, it's crazy how you go there. And not only that, but like, look at how many critical hits are moving there. Now it's not doing a lot of damage because of that click combo from Juggernaut's not up there, but it would be one-shotting things in that level. So if I just sat here and let this run to 300,000 or whatever it was, you would see a really, really high click damage. Because look at it, it's still going 1.9, 2.0, 2.1. 2.2, like it's just crazy the way you do with the with that idle active clicker. So, and I'm hoping to get another one here soon. I'm doing everything to get rubies. I need 168 more. I spent, I think, 50 on this round for a quick ascension. So, anyway, I hope that answers questions about the DPS and when to move your gilded heroes backwards. Forwards. So if you go tree beast to something, and I would say that once you move it and you look at that DPS at the overall right here and see where you're at, like is that the right damage, or do you want to swap them back and keep going, right? Because then you can do your energized dark ritual reload and decrease the cool time and start using all these guys to get extra damage and extra click in. So anyway, I hope that helped out. I hope that gave you a good idea for what the DPS looks like, and I will talk to you guys soon.